Hi guys, hola, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I am going to be talking about 12 common mistakes language learners make when trying to learn a new language. When trying to learn a new language, there's some mistakes you should try as much as possible to avoid. And number one of these mistakes is not using a method that matches the approach with which you learn. Each of us has a way we learn better or best, and what we are trying to learn is as important as how we learn them. Some of us learn better when we read, some of us learn better when we listen, and some of us learn better when we practice. So we have to find a way to know the approach that works best for us. You have to ask yourself, what is the best way for me to learn? How do I remember things better? Are you good at memorizing things? Do you have to read over and over again for things to stick in your head? Do you have to listen? Do you have to do? This you have to ask yourself, and you have to give yourself answers. All of these questions you have to ask yourself, and the answer to these questions will help you determine the best method or approach you can use to learn your target language. Another mistake language learners make when learning a new language is they have vague goals. Most online courses focusing on helping you to learn a language within a time phrase, and most of these time phrases are just too unrealistic. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go back to the reason why you are learning this language in the first place, and you have to work towards this. Are you learning your target language because you want to read a particular book, maybe your favorite book, in the original language it was written? Are you learning this language because you want to go to the country where this language is spoken in the nearest future? Are you learning this language because you love the way the people who speak this language do it? That is why you have to work towards these goals. When you want to do this, it will make your language learning journey so easy for you. When you ask yourself this question, it will help you to set realistic goals, and it will help you work towards the reason why you're learning this language in the first place. And however, do not forget to give yourself credit for the little achievement you make in your target language. Have you learned the first 50 words? Celebrate yourself, be happy because you are doing well, and the more you celebrate yourself, the more your determination increases. When you celebrate yourself, you want to do more and more and more, and this way you stay determined and you will learn your target language. Take language learners make when trying to learn a new languages, they think in translation or they try to translate. What I mean is that sometimes when starting to learn a new language, we want to say a word in our native language, then translate it to our target language. When starting out, this might help you and this makes sense. However, the more you learn, the more you need to drop this habit. Instead of translating, you need to learn the way these words are said in your target language. Listen to native speakers, read books, listen to podcasts, and learn the way these words or phrases are being said originally. These words might have the same meaning, but the way they are said in different languages are so different, and you need to learn them. If you continue to translate, this will reduce the way you learn, and it will affect you a lot. It will affect your grammar, it will affect your word construction. Yes, this is so therefore you need to listen to native speakers and learn the way these words are said originally. Focusing too much on grammar is another mistake language learners make. As a starter, you really do not need grammar that much. What you need to do is to focus much on building your vocabulary list. You need to learn new words and leave the grammar aside. When I started learning a new language, I focused on grammar, and I got confused and caught up with the grammars which I really do not need yet. So the first thing you want to do is learn a lot of words, build your vocabulary list, then you focus on grammar later. But as a starter, you need to focus very much on building your vocabulary list. The sixth mistake language learners make when learning a new language is they do not start with sounds. You need to start to learn a new language with learning the sounds. There are some sounds that exist in your target language that do not exist in your first language. These sounds, you don't know how to pronounce them. You are not used to pronouncing them. Therefore, you need to learn to pronounce these words. You practice pronunciation over and over again till you master how to pronounce these words. Then when you master, it will not affect your pronunciation later in your learning. The seventh mistake language learners make when learning a new language is they feel like they have to travel to the country where their target language is being spoken before they immerse. And not everybody has the resources to go abroad to immerse. So if you can actually travel abroad to immerse, that is a very good idea. But if you can't, there are other ways you can immerse. Number one is changing your phone setting to your target language. This way, unconsciously, you will learn new words you won't even know, but you get used to saying these words over and over again, and they are stick in your head. Imagine you can incorporate words from your target language into your daily life. For example, I know that the Spanish word for please is por favor, and the Spanish word for I am sorry is lo siento. So once in a while, I can be talking to my friend. I'll be like, "Oh, please give me that chocolate, por favor." Lo siento, I'm so sorry. When you do this over and over again, you realize that you have learned a lot of words and you will remember them easily. Another mistake language learners make is they do not listen. Just like children, we need to listen before we can speak. Most of them just go on reading and doing other stuff and they forget to listen. Listening is very important. It will help your pronunciation, it will help you remember words. Yes, so you need to listen. You can listen to your target language by listening to music, podcasts, watch TV shows, watch series in your target language. You do this over and over again and you know how to pronounce words correctly. Another mistake you need to avoid making is taking long breaks in between learning your target language. When you learn new words and you don't make use of them or you don't practice, you tend to forget these words that you've learned. So when learning a new language, you need to practice over and over again so that you do not forget the words that you've learned. Some people will start learning a language and they learn for 2 weeks and they go off for 2 months. When you come back, you realize that most of the words you've learned, you've forgotten them. So therefore, you need to learn consistently. Learning a new language requires dedication, and you need to be dedicated to this language. So you don't need to take a long break. You can just learn over and over again and practice. This way, you will not forget your target language. Lastly, as a language learner, you need to avoid focusing on the wrong vocabulary. As a starter, you need to start with commonly used words, then you build your vocabulary around them. Commonly used words like food, places, family, colors, etc. You need to start with these simple vocabularies, and as time goes on, you can choose the kind of vocabularies you need to learn. Okay, that will be all for today. Thank you. Do not forget to like and subscribe.